Good evening. Good evening. We're going to have a fun-packed evening tonight. We're going to have Neil Johnson on from Hollywood, all the way from Hollywood. Yeah, he's not here yet, but it will be. So let's get through the chat. Mr. B. Right. Okay. You steady yourself at work. Early after walk the dog, so I'll be late. Okay. Anybody there? Yes. Yeah, that was it 5 minutes ago. Yes. Steve, hello. Everybody's saying hello. TJ's here as well. Andy's here. I just been watching your video, Andy. I just been setting up, so I couldn't talk. Hawk. Oh, you mean Steve? All right. I get it. Josh, hello. Kieran's here as always, obviously. Thought she'd be busy. Notice. Yeah, I was watching it. I think I put a like on it as well. I think I did. Anyway, before Neil gets here, if he does, I messaged him about an hour ago. So yeah, he's a Hollywood director. He's busy. We've got to understand this. I just watched a really good video. It's really cheered me up today. So I might show it if he's not here soon. I did eventually, yeah. I was thinking of my Hawk for some reason. I don't know why. Yes, just finished watching. Yeah. I'll tell you what. We'll chat a bit before he gets here. I did pick up the Wednesday Adams Monster High from Asda. Put it on eBay. It's £40, right? That's a lot of money. £40. Put it on eBay for 70, and it sold. As soon as it went up, it was sold. These are really hard to get hold of. They've got one more in Asda as well. I was tempted to go back for another one, but I actually quite like it. I know, but I do quite like it. These Monster High are pretty good. I've been looking them up, and yeah, but I think there's the other girl, the blonde girl, and this in the dancing dress as well. But that is impossible to get hold of. They did have it at Smith's, £60, but out of stock totally. So these are out of stock as well. I think the lowest one on eBay was £75. So I thought I'll go 70. Went just like that. So yeah, I might be going back to Asda tomorrow to get the other one. So go check out your Asdas and see if they've got any instant money. Oh dear. What is CJ's latest video, Mark? That cheered me up. What, the driving one this morning? Yeah. And Dolly from the Asda. Yeah. I quite like it. I didn't think it'd sell that quickly, but I'm glad it did. There's this shop in Doncaster that sold the Wednesday dolls. Is it HDD or something like that? Living Dead dolls. No, this is a Monster High. The Living Dead dolls, yeah, you can get quite easy. First it was Barbie, now Wednesday. I think Mark is turning. They're all gone now. Yeah, totally. Look who we've got. I don't have to keep talking anymore.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Good evening. Oh, good afternoon. It's about 12 o'clock.
It's lunchtime. If you wonder why I look like I've just been gang raped, I've been outside cutting down trees. We had two trees had to be cut down in emergency. So I literally had a chainsaw until 2 minutes ago. I even cut myself. I'm not trying to flex. I cut myself real bad. So I literally had like tree shit all over me. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. Hey, it's one of the things we've got to do, isn't it, as men? We've got to cut the trees down.
Well, it's funny. I used to get flagged for entering the US, by the immigration, because they had to check all your paperwork because you're under a special visa.
Yeah.
And once I was wearing a kind of a lumberjack type shirt, and they would always just call me the Lumberjack, and I never forgot that. People call me a lumberjack all the time the moment I dress up and go out in the forest, because I obviously look like a lumberjack. So, and I do cut trees down.
As long as you don't
I don't like cutting. I don't like doing it though. Hello.
Mario.
Hiya.
And they saying, hello, Neil and Cats.
Yeah, and by the way, this is what I wear to cut trees down. It's the most ridiculous pair of glasses, but they're safety goggles. It's kind of
Gilster,
funny.
hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, there's people here.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, it's not Alice.
No. He's got black hair. I've got blonde.
Yeah.
I'm actually
considerably
I'm
more
true
money.
blonde. Let's get the pussycats in.
Is that a Black Panther-esque collar? Oh, Sandy.
No. This is something I drew. Okay, so I drew a picture of this. Oh god, but probably 1999, and somebody made it for me in Australia, and it's a spaceship. If you look at it, let's get real close. It is a spaceship. Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the engine thruster.
Oh, I like t-shirt.
Oh yeah, the t-shirt's from one of my films.
Yeah.
Yay, upcoming. Sorry. Way more interesting to look at that than me. That's Tracy Birdsall. Hang on, there we go. Look at that gun. Isn't that cool?
Wait, what gun?
That's really more interesting than looking at me, I assure you.
Oh dear. Drag through the hedge backwards.
Yeah.
Would be in a better phrase. Yes.
Well, that's true too. It's just sorry, spare of the moment. No, Alice Cooper's way more
just a bit.
way wealthier than me, I assure you. Reminds me of Starship Command for the old BBC. You've controlled such a ship. Starship Command.
Plagiarism.
Starship Command. What is Starship Command? You don't mean Blake 7, do you?
No, it'll be a game for the BBC Micro. Like they have the Spectrum and Commodore. There's a BBC Micro as well.
Oh, interesting. I did a film called Starship Rising, and I nearly did a film called Space Command. So funny that was mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Star Wars have borrowed from you, haven't they?
I don't know. It's okay. So so if anyone doesn't know what Mark's referring to, in let's see, 2017, 2018, I did a film called Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter. Originally just meant to be called Robot Fighter, but whatever. With the great Tracy Birdsall running around, having space adventures, and it's proper sci-fi, And we had this spaceship designed. I thought it looked cool and everything else, and had the little robot thing called Hoagland beside her. And suddenly the Mandalorian comes out, and it's got the exact same spaceship, the same design. It's all about the basic design is the same. And, the whole thing with the Baby Yoda and the little capsule floating beside the Mandalorian there you go, with similar sort of sci-fi things. It's one of those things that you think, well, did they rip me off, or is it just a coincidence? And who can say, I did mention it once. I mean, I don't care if they did. It's not really a point, because we're all inspired by Star Wars. But when I mentioned it on Twitter, I got blocked by all these people on Lucasfilm, and I was like, why? What's the point? See, California is a very litigious state, so
I can imagine.
Yeah, so everyone's always afraid of lawsuits and stuff. So it's just how it is. But if they got to rip off people like me, well, that's fine. if you see where it's gone now, I mean, the Han Solo, the Solo poster was ripped off pretty hard as well by the artwork for the French, from a French artist, and he sued and got a lot of money. Maybe I should have sued, but it's just what it is. I'm going to swap out my glasses. There we go. It's just kind of what it is. Serenity from Firefly is not different either. Yeah, exactly. It's all space opera.
Yeah, it's a spaceship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, not really introduced you, have we? You are a Hollywood director, but to me, you're a very good friend.
From Moley.
Yes. You popped into my shop one day. You popped into my life one day. Showed me your drone, and that was it.
Yeah, well, you had a shop in was it Moley
Moley Market, yeah.
Moley Markets, which, believe it or not, was once owned by my grandfather. He owned the whole thing and a bunch of other stuff. Peel Mill, the big mill.
Yeah.
He owned that.
Wow.
Plus a bunch of other stuff. And he was notorious in the town back in the day for being I won't say, just would bend the rules sometimes and get up to no good in a fun way.
Well,
so
that's what businessmen do, isn't it?
So he would go into the Moley City Hall, and he knew the mayor, of course, because he was one of the most powerful, wealthy business owners in town. And he'd go in and say, "Can I use your phone?" And he would pick up the phone, and he would call us in Australia when we were in Australia, for talk for an hour with the Morley Town Centre phone, which back then cost a lot of money. And, that's the type of stuff he'd do, and then he'd get in trouble and the mayor would kick him out and he'd do it again. So, that's the kind of grandfather I had, and that was in Morley. So I'm always very attached to it. My dad's from there as well. My Auntie Alison and Uncle Ian lived there until recently, as well as all their family. So I'm very fond of the town. And your store was just like, oh, wow, there's somebody finally in town who has a store that, I can actually enjoy. I don't know, was I shooting a movie then, or was just something, or preparing? I don't know.
What's it? One of your relatives have passed away, if I remember rightly.
Oh, there's been a few. Yeah.
You come over to sort that out or something. Was it your father?
Oh yeah, no. Well, yeah, it was my father. That's right. And then my auntie passed away, and when you get to this age, you get a lot of death in the family. It's horrible and tragic. Yeah. And then I shot a movie in Morley called Chrononaut, also called Death Machine, also called Doomsday, depending on what country. But the official name is.
Just want to show a tiny bit. Is that okay?
Oh yeah.
Now this is,
dude. That's my cameo coming up.
Oh, you're in it? Are you actually in it? I didn't know.
That's the exact shot. You watch.
It was premiering. I've seen it before. I've seen it a few times before, but it was premiering on Sunday night, and I had nothing to watch, so I thought, you know what, I'll watch it again. And I've forgotten about this bit, because this bit here, if you're watching my videos and you're watching me in Moley, you'll know. Well, that is a charity shop now. It's not a cafe anymore.
Oh, it's a pity. I love that place.
Yeah, it's actually a charity shop now, and I do filming there. But if I'll play it, listen a bit. But that is one of the places where I've had trouble filming, and it just when it popped up, it made me. I was laughing. I thought, oh my god, not allowed. So how far do you want me to go back?
Just go back a little bit. No, okay. No, okay. You're where you started on the shot. You're about. Play from there. It's not very exciting. Extremely boring. You've gone back too far. Yeah.
The funny thing is, on the two occasions that on that video that I got told off, I'd literally about to stop filming. I'd done what I want to do. I was about to stop filming, and I could see her coming, and I thought, I'm carrying this on. And I would have stopped and I'd have been out of there. But she carried on that much. I I kept filming just for the
Yeah.
reaction. I wouldn't normally do
Yeah.
that. I don't like drama in my videos. I want to just do the toys and show people what's in the stores. And it was same in B&M. I'd finished
Mhm.
filming, and he came up to
I
me and
saw
says,
that.
"Can I ask you what you're filming for?" I thought, it's in every film in every store now. You're getting the same in places where I've filmed 4 or 5 times. Now you obviously are out filming all the time, and you actually said to me about your camera. So do you want to tell everybody what you said to me about it, what you do with your camera?
Oh, I got a lot of tricks. To give you a bit of a backstory, I do your camo in all my films. Prefer not to because I'm not a, this is not a face you want to see on camera.
Yeah. What's it? Oh, it's gone out my head now. What's it used to be in all his films?
Oh, Hitchcock did
Yeah,
that.
he's got yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, well, that
yeah.
went out my head.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I prefer to keep myself out of the films because,
Yeah.
people wanted this face. I have played in a few movies, by the way, friends' films, but yeah, not even like Stanley. No, he's way cooler than me. But okay, so look, I'll tell you the trick. I'll tell you the trick. So I used to be a news cameraman when I was very young, and that was a big television camera you sit on your shoulder. Hi. And with those television cameras, you have a switch where the red light comes on, so you're filming.
Yeah.
So all the time you'd be walking the streets and some guy would come up to you and want to punch the camera. I mean, literally, this would happen a lot. Or they want to yell, or they want to give you their opinion on camera. And you're just like walking the street with your camera. So on your shoulder, so the two things you can do, you can turn the red light off. You say, okay, I'm not filming because the red light's not on, but you're still filming. So, and then you put the camera aside a bit, but you can still see the viewfinder. The other trick, this is when you got big television cameras. The other trick is you put it under your arm and you flip up the viewfinder and you just walk around like a little gun. And, oh, no, I'm not filming right now because I'm just shopping. I have to carry this with me, of course, because, but you're still filming. You're filming from the lower section, and you can film the whole time.
Yeah.
And they will assume the moment it's off your shoulder, you're not filming. So, it's all about perception. And the moment you walk in with a gimbal, and a phone or a camera, whoa, what's going on here? My goodness, you're like, what's this?
Yeah.
But, it's all about body placement and, how you kind of do it. So if you've got a camera like this thing, yeah, that thing's the kiss of death if you want to get noticed.
Yeah. I noticed that. I thought because I use my phone all the time. I had one of those little pocket cameras as well, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I got the I thought, I get me a bit more professional. I get a camera, and I found that the footage was a bit wobbly, so I got myself the gimbal. But that, like you say, it's the kiss of death.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. It's great for getting yourself noticed if that's what you want. You know. But it's all about this weird perception of what people think. I thought your most genius idea was those glasses. With the camera, they are incredible.
Yeah.
And I was actually gobsmacked when I saw that, because I thought, well, that's going to solve a lot of problems and make a lot of problems. So film me the GoPro strapped to your chest. Yeah, because it's not in your face. It's kind of like a little thing there. Especially if you dress it up and make it look like you're a security person or something. He had a GoPro on a stick. It's all about the stick, you see, because it looks like a weapon. I mean, that's what it comes down to. People think you weaponize things. So it's and I've done it for years and years and years, and I'm the absolute expert at people not even know that I'm filming. I went to Home Depot once and shot a scene for the film Alien Dawn. Again, the trick of just putting the camera on the shopping cart, the trolley. What do you call it? Shopping cart, trolley, shopping trolley.
Yeah,
shopping cart. But I would stick it on there and walk around Home Depot and shoot entire sequences. not joking. Another thing you can do is get a little earpiece and a little, microphone, one of those little things, and you're sort of walking around, and you can just pretend you are talking on the phone.
Oh,
And they say you're filming. No.
That's all I use.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
But if you've got something in your ear, it looks like you're talking on the phone. So that way people can, you say, "What are you filming?" "I'm just talking on the phone. What's wrong with you, dude? Go away."
The good thing about these is I can listen to music on them, and what it'll do is if you get a message on your phone, it'll say you've got a message, and you'll ask it to read it to you, and it'll read it to you. It's unbelievable. And nobody's noticed when I've been filming, because there's a little light on.
Yeah.
Privacy light, little flash. But nobody notices.
But a piece of black tape you can put on that.
Yeah, if you do that, it won't film.
Bastards.
It recognize. But the thing is, there's a way around it. You can.
Oh yeah.
If you put your finger over it for a second, it won't recognize it, and it will start filming. But nobody notices. Nobody notices.
No, but I think you've got a great opportunity to start walking around. People see the moment people know there's a camera on them, they change. I mean, remember I did reality TV back in 1993 before it was really called that.
Yeah. And
it changes the dynamic dramatically. People suddenly put on an act. And that's why, like even in the Moley film you just showed, I showed people in the street, but I zoomed in from way in the distance.
Yeah.
And when I shot that sequence where they're eating dinner, I was way back. You couldn't see my camera. So that's why nobody ever stopped and said, "What are you doing?" to any of us, because I put the camera way in the corner. You couldn't see me. I zoomed in, and it's just nobody assumes you're shooting a film sequence. You run your microphones and it's all covert. So you get so much more of a natural performance if you don't stick a camera in people's faces. It's even like in movies, you see these wide angle lenses and a big camera up close, and it just looks so over the top. They're talking to Big Biro. That's funny. Yeah. Bit like Red Dwarf.
You just naturally assume you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
You do it for me anyway. So
pretend you're insane. I've even pretended I'm retarded a couple of times too,
Yeah.
To get away with it, because it's at the end of the day, it's what you capture. It's not about
stay away from you.
Oh, absolutely. But that's great. Then you can get about your business,
Yeah.
It's all about what you get at the end. And I just hate this lens really close to somebody's face. So everything I shoot, nobody truly is themselves. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the glory of these glasses you've got. I want to get a pair.
Yeah.
Because the things I would get up to.
Was filming, any kind of filming. I mean,
but now you can walk into shops and start having weird conversations with people. The
good thing about I'm thinking about doing auditing on customer service.
Oh, I love auditing.
Your customer service, because they don't know you're filming them. It's like when I did the Salvation Army, and she was really offhanded with me. They normally are in there for some reason.
Yeah.
And they don't know you're filming them, so they're just themselves. If they knew you were filming, they'd be all customer service, but
yeah,
when you're just like a normal person, you're not filming anything like that. They're just a bit funny with you.
Well, there's another thing you can do. And this is something I learned from Werner Herzog, the director who did who's in The Mandalorian. I'm not Dave, I would instantly make my top up. Yeah. So Werner Herzog, how do I explain this? That's funny. So if I turn up, say, okay, I'll give a really real world example. I want to shoot aerials of Salisbury Cathedral, which is the tallest church in England. Very high steeple. And of course, there's signs everywhere saying you cannot put drones here. Now, here's the law. The law is, yes, you can't fly over people. You can't do this or that. And you literally can't stand in front of the, and fly. But you can go to the park next door. You can launch your drone. You can go for a little flight, as long as you're not over people, and fly around that. Now, what I would could do is then get a vest and get little cones and put them around me. A vest that says drone pilot,
Yep.
and then get a piece of paper, with permits and a license. And by the way, all these things could be faked. And I'm saying this because how the hell do you check? And a copy of the law. So I always thought I'd do this. And then somebody comes up to you and they say, and I have been, abused a few times for flying a drone by old people who don't understand, and celebrities. Long story. No, you should. And I would just pull out the paper. Sorry, I'm conducting business right now. If you could just wait 2 minutes so I can safely get the drone in, I will be glad to show you all my paperwork and all my permissions. And often I do have something with me, and I would show that person. I'm sorry, this is within legal parameters. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. It's all lies. Yeah. Sometimes it is the truth. You do the right thing.
To distract a pilot. You're not supposed to be distracting a drone pilot.
No, you're not. No, and I had the argument with the police officer once, and then he was really, and I actually often keep copy of the rules, the law, and I pull it out. So this is the rules. It's my registration. I've done everything within the concepts of the law. Yeah. Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski. I've had actors like that on set. Usually they're really good actors, unfortunately. Red Bat Spotter. There you go. That's very good. Yeah. But it's always where you launch from and not where you go. So if they see you launch, they'll come up to you and say, "You can't fly here." And I say, "Yes, I can." But if you happen to fly somewhere, so say for example, I launched I wasn't allowed to fly over Big Ben, for example, but I launched 2 miles up the road and flew over. If I flew up the Thames, filmed Big Ben, and came back down the river, that's actually legal. Believe it or not. But you run the risk of losing your drone as long as you keep low. It's a tricky flight. I did it once. I don't want to do it again.
I've watched a few auditors with the drones, and even the police don't know the rules.
No, and that's why you should have a copy of everything with you.
Yeah.
I've been given permission by the Reverend, the local church flag there. I just haven't got. You should. I actually got permission from Moley Town Centre way back in the day, in your town, of course. That's funny. Where the security guys in Morley came out. "Oh, what's up here?" Blah blah. And I said, "Oh, hi guys." I said, "Have a look at this." And I said, "I'm doing this for the council." "Oh, we didn't know about this." It's okay. Well, don't worry. It's and I share the footage with them, show it to them, and I end up giving the footage to the Morley City Council. So when you go to the website, that aerial shot is what I gave to them. But once I did that, I had full permission to fly around the church, the town hall, and get plenty of shots. Another time in Morley, there's a burnt church called St. Mary's Church, which was when my aunt and uncle were married in that church, and then somebody set it on fire and burnt it to the ground. So it's a complete disaster.
See if we can show it.
Yeah, it's in the film Chrononaut. Completely burnt down. And while you're getting that, I'll explain. So a number of times, 3 times, I've shot there maybe 12 times. I shot a lot of scenes there inside the burnt church. Highly illegal, of course. Police have turned up twice or 3 times. And they say, "Hello, what you doing?" And I say, "I am, nothing. Just doing some, shots of blah, blah, blah." There it is. "Oh, no problem. We thought you were doing drugs. Don't worry. All good. See ya." But you see, when I spoke to them, I spoke with the authority that I was meant to be doing what I was doing. I was supposed to be there. And I didn't say, "Oh, sorry, sir." The police were actually really nice in Morley, were wonderful about it. Around a church. Oh, people will complain. But, when the neighbors did obviously call the police. "Oh, look. Hello, kitty." See what happens? The police will actually come, and then you're super polite, and you assume I'm professional. I'm here with permission, and we're doing a movie, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's all blah, 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 legit, above board. And mostly what they care about, thank you for that, is doing drug selling. And I've had a lot of encounters with police. I had a studio in Canoga Park in California, which is the center of drugs, one of the hubs of selling drugs, and also a hub of it's the most porn studios in the whole of the world are in this one area. And I had the only film studio that didn't do porn. So the police would turn up and they knew about it. No, I'm not joking. I'm really not joking. There was like literally, there was, and we had machine guns and blood all over my truck and shooting. And this is in the film Alien Dawn. Police would turn up and say, "Oh, hi," and they would ask us if we'd seen drug sellers on the corner because it was where. And so they didn't care about us and the guns, the fake guns, because they always knew we were doing science fiction films. But it's a matter of communication and being upfront, Kitty.
Yeah,
that's not food. Hang on. I've just got to get the cat. Sorry, she's decided.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so this is why I've been watching this again. Please go watch it. The link is in the chat there.
Yeah.
Sorry there.
Yeah, there you go. That's you can see a lot of my films there. Oh, I got another funny story that I could never tell anywhere else. So, we're doing the movie Alien Dawn, which is basically War of the Worlds. And it's a long technical legal story is why I didn't call it that. It is renamed The War of the Worlds, but I will do another War of the Worlds later, which is a real version. Anyway, yes. A damn pussycat.
Dave, have you been drinking tonight?
So we had this scene, and yes, I was actually in the film playing David Coverdale. It was, basically alien invasion. My character was called David Coverdale because I played David Coverdale a few times. He's the singer of Whitesnake. Apparently, I look a lot like him.
Right.
I had no idea, but he is also from Yorkshire. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was playing David Coverdale, and he steps out of his limo, sees the aliens attacking. Later on, he gets eaten and destroyed by some Martians or something. And so to do the shot, being swallowed up by this thing, we had this mattress, with all this movie blood on it. And, it's just for safety. You had a mattress, and basically we're left with a mattress covered in blood, movie blood. But this thing looked like a murder mattress, like really messed up. So in Los Angeles, you got these things where people leave stuff on the street all the time, a lot. Including, that's where I got that mattress from originally. We're driving down the street. Oh, there's a fresh mattress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, oh,
exactly. It doesn't rain here, so everything's kind of clean, So picked it up, used it. Maybe my daughter slept on it and something. Yeah, that's it. That's the song. I thought, let's see if what we can do about this mattress. We got to get rid of it. The dumpster was full, so let's put it on the street. So we put this murder mattress on the street in the center of Drug Town, in Canoga Park, and we left it there and we watched. And it sat there for 3 weeks, and nobody picked it up. And then one day, these Mexicans were driving along, and they saw it. And I thought, and they checked it if it's real blood. They realized it wasn't real blood, I think, but they picked it up. And now that murder mattress is in Mexico. So no matter what, the stuff gets taken.
Nice.
Who would pick it up? But they did. These you've got to have hobbies.
It's a prop. It's a movie prop. Probably on prop store now.
Well, it looked like, you remember Hellraiser 2, when she was sucked into that mattress. Hey, Mr. B. It looked like the Hellraiser 2 mattress. Literally, it was really bloody, really bloody. So yeah, maybe it's in a museum now. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
It could be on eBay.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh man, look at cool now.
Anyway,
right. So I've been looking up and seeing it does tell me what's upcoming with you. And you got 4 things. I know the story around especially Time War,
Oh,
that you lost. Was it all the footage or nearly all the footage you lost?
well, that's a big story. So I'll give you the story. We originally shot a movie version of the Time War in 2014. Thank you, Starship Apocalypse. There's also Starship Rising. That's the first one. There's two of those films. So Starship Rising, Starship Apocalypse. So the Time War was a much bigger budget thing. We shot it as a movie. Then we shot Rogue Warrior because the demand was for Rogue Warrior, not time travel. And then got back to doing the Time War, which is basically Adolf Hitler traveling through time, rewriting history, and his daughter tries to stop him. So it's a big story. A lot of it is shot in Morley. A lot of it's shot in Yorkshire. A lot is shot in Iceland and Scotland. A little bit in Malibu because it looks like Scotland. And, in Germany, of course. It's a big budget thing. So anyway, 2018 comes along, and in Malibu, the big fires come in, the Woolsey fires, and they take out the studio, the house, all the props, the robots, most of the costumes, the edit system, the hard drives, the red camera, the cinema lenses, of course, all my clothes and all my cash, which was in a fireproof safe that is not fireproof. Yeah, good luck. And during that time, of course, you lose everything. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. A gaffy stick in Tunisia. I would love that. The World Man of War. Ball fighting the world. Yeah, I used to do Man of War music videos. I think that's a reference. Anyway.
Somebody's Googling, I think.
Yeah. So interesting, we got all this stuff done and lose a lot of the footage. Some of it was in storage over the mountain in Agora Hills. So we didn't lose all the footage, but lost all the gear. And, some very kind people. I think it's okay to say it now, but, Red Camera, the cinema camera company, who Ridley Scott uses and many people shoot their movies on, helped me out with another camera. I have a strong suspicion, it was very hinted at, that it was one of the Prometheus cameras, because when they shot in 3D, they needed a lot of extra bodies, and there's a whole bunch. And, so thank you, Ridley Scott, because we made the news in the UK. And yes, it does have the voice of Christopher Lee as well in it. Yes. It also has the voice of Paul Darrow, who played Avon in Blake 7. How is this possible? Well, I actually wrote The Time War back in 1995, and Paul Darrow was in my third film, and he did some voiceover work for me. So he lives on, which is cool. So Avon is in the film, basically, as a robot voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we lost everything, and then we decided to reshoot what we lost and kept shooting. And then now it's a 10-hour TV series. We're in the color grade mode right now. So it is color grading as we speak. And it's epic. And it stars the incredibly legendary Tracy Birdsall. Oh, that's her. Yeah. The story of the Nazi Party and their journey to rule the world. That's not true. I don't know who wrote that. It's not that.
IMDb's not like it's Wikipedia or anything like that.
I didn't write that. I can just tell you right now. I did not write that. It's, it's like whatever. There's Christopher Schauman, wonderful actor. He was George of the Jungle too. This guy is an absolute god of acting as well. William Kirch is in it from The Hobbit, another incredible actor. He and Tracy have great on-screen chemistry.
All right.
That's a weird behind-the-scenes shot with Hitler and a tank. Yeah, I don't even know where that is. Poster. There's a lot of pictures out there. But it's quite epic. I mean, it's literally about 10 hours long, and I pioneered some new VFX techniques, which is why it's taken so long. Oh my god. Yeah, Adolf Hitler really is a Daniel Logan. Yeah, Boba Fett, nice guy. I've known him since he was a young kid, and he's such a nice guy.
He's still, look at him, he's still a young kid.
Yeah.
Never grows up, does he?
He's got babies now. He's not so young, but he's a really cool guy. And he's in it. It's just one of those things. Jeremy Bullock may have been in it too at some point, but he, passed away. And he, I just know these people. It's just kind of one of those things. I love The Liberator as well. I'm going to sidetrack when you're talking about Blake Seven. In Starship Rising and Starship Apocalypse, every planet in Starship Rising, Starship Apocalypse is in fact from Blake Seven. So, I kind of almost made it in universe as a joke. And yes, the Federation is in there as well. I wanted to remake Blake Seven, but good luck. So anyway, Paul Darrow, I paid him a lot of money to do it. I'll be honest with you, in cash. That was, I think, year 2001 when he did it. So nicest guy. I was very starstruck. I don't get starstruck at all, but with him maybe. Anyway, Adolf Hitler really is in the thing because we used library footage. Christopher Lee's in there because he did a voiceover for me, and I paid him a bunch of cash, and he needed the money, and that's it. That's the whole story. It was recorded at Abbey Road Studios, and I have photos to prove it.
Cool.
Very cool. And he was really. I've worked with him a lot. I've directed him in a couple of music videos and stuff. And he was so nice. We were just a nice human being, and he pulled a favor for me. Yes, he was being paid a lot of money to do something else, and while we were getting the microphones warmed up and his voice warmed up, thanks guys. we basically, how to explain it? He did it as a warm up for 20 minutes. So I got a lot of Christopher Lee's voice. I didn't not knowing he would have passed away. He said, "This is more than just the page." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." First thing he said when he turned up, "Hello, have you got my money?" I said, "Yes, here it is." In cash.
Yeah. Well, you learned from Peter Jackson. Give me my money first. Before you cut me out.
I just thought it was so fun. But I've known the guy for ages, so it's just really funny, I would have done it for a sub, yeah. But he's wonderful. And I got him in Abbey Road, which at the time we didn't really think about it. I would love to have done a remake of Blake Seven, but the original actors had so much gold in who they were. It's a tough one, and I'm just Paul Darrow was one of those few people who really taught me what an actor does. Way back when I was very young, of course, back in 1978, I guess it was. And I was like, "Wow, that's a real actor. He's so interesting." I just adored him. That's kind of why you work with the heroes sometimes. So anyway, back to the Time War. So I'm in color grading right now. It's where we shot on the Red Dragon camera and the Red Epic camera, which means nothing to anyone. With Zeiss lenses, again, it just means it looks super, big high quality sort of thing. We're mastering in 5K, 5.2K for a 4K release, and it will upscale to 8K if ever needed. This is just how it is. It's of a similar technical quality as maybe some of those Star Wars things, but obviously they look better because they have a bigger budget. But
what's he going to be on?
I don't know. You see, we've had discussions with people or early talk. "Hey, we heard you got a series. Could we have a look?" And I said, "No, fuck off." Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Fine. Yeah, okay. Fine. Swear as much as you want.
Excellent. But you kind of hold your cards close to your chest, and we'd like to have it finished and then presented to the streamers, Apple TV, probably not, maybe Netflix, Max, Amazon Prime, somebody will pick it up, even Tubi, they'll pay some good money for it.
I was thinking Netflix myself, but I don't know.
I don't want to go Netflix if I can avoid it.
I think Amazon.
I would. Well, Netflix buries stuff after a month. I mean, do you remember Squid Game? Yeah, but you never see it when you go to Netflix.
No, I think that's what when when shows are like they're not shows, are they? They're just shoved on. You watch them, you binge them, you watch them, and you forget about them.
Yeah, I
Well, I
don't.
like a TV show to be once a week, so you can think about it.
This is one of those once a week
Carry
shows.
it
I
on.
guarantee it. I guarantee it. We put a lot of effort into the storyline. Even the recaps, you cannot cut out the recaps whatsoever, because I put recaps in every episode, but they're not really. They kind of expand the story a bit and show
Yeah.
new footage.
Oh, that's good.
So it's very much designed to give as much information. So if you watch the episode and you go, "Oh, that was confusing. The time travel is confusing," next episode will clear it up, and you go, "Oh, that's what that meant."
Yeah.
And then you continue on. So it's meant to be one big ass movie. And I'm actually about to do a big watch session where I watch. Now we've done the first pass of the color grading. We sit down and watch it all as one big story.
Well, if you want to ever send a link over, yeah, mine.
Yeah, maybe when I've done the sound mix, because it'll be better then.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
because I've been. These are the 4 things that you in post production. They're all in post production, apparently. Is that true?
Well, I can clear that up a bit. At the Edge of Time is the T-shirt I'm wearing. Oh,
yeah.
Well, at the Edge of Time. Look at this. Age of Darkness, actually. Sorry, Age of Darkness, Evolution War. This is the same thing. So I don't know why there's 2 up there. Age of at the Edge of Time. At the Edge of Time and the Time War is the same thing,
right?
As well. So it's not really that like that. It's just that the Time War started as a movie called At the Edge of Time, and it's been kind of compressed into the series.
They've confused it.
Yeah, we'll clear that up eventually. There's some weird people out there. You should see the rubbish of some of the people we deal with online. Bigger budget doesn't make for better content. This is true. But I have no comment. 100% agree. I mean, look at the Acolyte. Dollar for dollar.
How much did that cost?
Well, I got some facts and figures for you, and I just saw this today, so you're going to laugh your ass off. It is shocking. If I can find this information, I bet I can. Okay, so anyway, somebody on Reddit did a breakdown, and I agree with it. Patreon, no. Age of Darkness is Rogue Warrior, the sequel. So just saying. So basically, dollar for dollar, the most expensive thing is the Acolyte by a long shot.
Yeah.
But also the least number of views is the Acolyte. So money spent versus views, the ratio for the Acolyte is horrendous. Andor wasn't, was expensive as well. But they maintained their viewers all the way through. The reality is the biggest failure. I mean, believe it or not, Ahsoka did really well, and I enjoyed it. So it's kind of a little, but then it's like a big drop because of the, when you really look at the real numbers, you got to understand and analyze what these things cost. But basically, for reference, if you compare House of the Dragon season 2 to the Acolyte, pretty much dollar for dollar, House of Dragon is exactly half the price per minute. So as a producer, if I was running the studio, any studio, and that's what happened, I would be so angry because no, I never saw Robot Jacks, I think it is. I saw the cover for it. If I was running the studio, I would be really angry because what they got visually compared to House of Dragon, is horrendous. Because you look at the two side by side, and it's like the Acolyte even went on location in some places that looked like Iceland, but it was actually Portugal or somewhere in the middle of nowhere. They could not even take the effort to find a location that had something unusual. Still got moss, still got trees. How many planets do we know that have trees? And yes, I have made science fiction films. I have never had a planet with trees in it, ever. You know, you go to the desert, you shoot in Tatooine, you know, in Yuma, the sand dunes, or you go to Death Valley, or you go somewhere, you go to Iceland. You make the effort. If I can make the effort to find locations at my shitty budget level that look like other planets, and then you can modify them a bit more, it is an effort, yes. And you have to think, you have to be creative, but that's what you do. You don't go to the back of Malibu, you know, Mandalorian season 2. Literally, that was, dare I say, it looked like the back of Malibu. And shoot that scene with, you know, Baby Yoda and the robots coming down where the Baby Yoda's on the top of the mountain. It's like, I know where that is. Well, Simi Valley, actually. But, you know, it's like, I know these locations. All they had to do was drive the whole crew another 3 hours and they could have gone to somewhere that was very exotic. Okay, now, yes, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort. But guess what? You've already got.
It's worth it.
How much money? The $100 million budget for the series?
That was. I don't know where the money went.
I know where it went.
I can't see
I know exactly where it went. Not on the screen. And you know, I'm not gonna. I've done woke movies with female leads. You know, look at Andor, for example. Andor had space witches, had woke casting, as some people like to call it. You know, had a bit of lesbianism and everything else. Yeah, with Dagobah. But even the trees in Dagobah didn't look like on Earth.
No, it was a swamp one too.
Yeah, it was quite magical. I mean, Andor. I mean, come on, that's the one they get. But in Andor had all the elements that people were apparently complaining about.
Oh, I mean, I've been to one of the locations of Andor in Blackpool. I mean, at least totally random.
Yeah, but at least they had the respect.
And it's got sand in it.
But at least they had the respect to add space buildings.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, there was some respect there to dress it up and make it look. I mean, it looked like a place. It looked like a location.
I mean, Andor went to Scotland, didn't they? They did the dam in Scotland, and that was beautiful.
I went to the exact same location to shoot the Time War, almost, before then. And my God, it's wonderful. I love Scotland for filming. Scotland is great. Acolyte was like, Hollyoaks, yeah. And the money for the Acolyte went in the people's pockets. Yeah. They hired people who weren't qualified for the job.
The producer's wife was actually in it.
I didn't mind her. And to be really honest, I liked her character. I would like to see them expanded a bit. She was a little bit new. But for the character, she suited the character. And I kind of liked her face. You know, I thought she was interesting to watch. You know, but yes, we do have problems when they hire their own, you know, romantic partners, of course. But I thought she was okay. You know, I've just found it so offensive that somebody who truly needs to do some acting, not her, another girl who needs to do acting training and needs to really learn a bit more about acting. And I can say this professionally because, you know, her reactions are all the same to everything. And then she says, no, you don't like it because you're racist and you're woke, you know, you're anti-woke. And then she does a dance, a dance of protest. It's like, no, people are reacting to the fact that you're not doing your craft well enough. And it is training. You can't then just thrust yourself on camera as a reaction. Imagine if she said, yeah, look, I'm a little green. They shouldn't have hired me for the role because I'm not that experienced, you know, in doing this grand thing. I will do better next time. And people go, wow, she's great, you know, but the arrogance, turn it around, is so rude when those people are the same people who pay your rent, you know, literally. That she got a big paycheck, you know. You can't then thrust your stuff in their face when they're not 100% happy that you don't know your craft, you know. And as I said, I have had lesbians in every movie since film number 1. And I've had gay characters in every film since 1998. I had a man transition to a woman in 1996 in my first film.
Wow.
And I was told, no, we can't have this in a movie. But I did it. I lost sales to China and a few other places because of the gay character. So I have been a woke feminist filmmaker. I've had female leads in all my movies.
Yeah.
So, you know,
most of the women.
I you know, it's just the reality of it. You know, they're young. I get it. I don't hold any grudges against them. I don't hate these people. It's just I have a problem with the production. When or how do you think the atmosphere in Hollywood would change? Okay, well, there's a nice question. It's kind of weird. When I see people, and again, the firing of Gina Carano really upset me. And it's not, I don't think the same way as her. My brain doesn't, I get what she says.
No.
But the way it was done was basically that people are drawing sides right now. It's like, oh, you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, which makes no sense to anyone else unless you live here. And I don't need to ever tell anyone my political opinion because I'm not a political scientist, and I don't want to hear the opinion of anybody, especially an actor, because they're not qualified to give that opinion. All I can give it an opinion about is producing, because I produce 15 feature films, 25 TV series, 500 music videos. I know about producing. I know about science fiction. That's the only thing I know about. But for me to venture an opinion beyond that to anybody is horrendous, because I'm not qualified to give any information about anything. So I haven't studied it. I wasn't born here, though I am a US citizen. I was born in England. So I have to be respectful of everyone's opinion and rights to their own personal opinions. But when you start voicing it as though, that's your mission in life, well, there's a point where you want to become a politician, you study or you do whatever you need to do to be a politician, and you stop being an actor, as Arnold Schwarzenegger did. He's gone back to acting. God bless him.
Stick to the acting, Arnold.
So you go back to the 70s and what changed, what was going on in the late 60s. You think about there were all these studio movies, all very formal. You had the blacklist situation happening, where, are you a communist? Oh, you're a communist, go to jail. You'll never work again. That stuff was going down in the 60s, late 60s, 70s. And it was terrible. They were destroying people's careers because they decided they were communists. I'm not communist, by the way. I'm not a fan of communism. But that was the situation. And then all of a sudden, a rebellion starts, and Easy Rider came out and other movies came out. And suddenly people were, Jaws came out, Godfather came out, all these great movies suddenly emerged from this chaos. And there was young filmmakers who had a burning desire to tell a story.
Yeah.
And Star Wars came out. Yes, Star Wars was political. Star Wars came out. And the reason the studios allowed this was the people in charge of the studios were getting too old and were kind of dying off. And we're losing money hand over fist. What do we do? Think about 1970. Think about the movies. Apart from Planet of the Apes, it was terrible. We didn't have blockbusters. No. So 75, 76, 77, Deer Hunter was another great one. A friend of mine's in that. Oh, my God. John Savage, incredible. So what happened was, because these new movies came out and people were kind of, going to see them, you had the term blockbuster. And the term blockbuster means you had a line around the block. And that continued. So that's what happened to Hollywood. It's like, oh, great, the freedom of the new movies. Apart from Ken Russell doing The Devils in the 60s, odd movie, love it. There wasn't a lot going on. So suddenly this revolution came, and there's all this money in the 80s, early 80s. You have all this glossy movie. Let's copy Star Wars. Let's do Alien. Well done.
Yeah.
Let's do this and that. And suddenly Buckaroo Banzai was like, huh? What? I mean, it's a fine film, but you know what I'm saying? It started to go a little bit weird. So the studios say, okay, we're losing money. Let's take control of it again. So suddenly it's, the control begins again. And, suddenly people in charge of the studios who are accountants don't know what's going on. And I think that was the problem with Disney was, you had an accountant in charge. Yeah, we just talk about Reagan. I live here. He's a bit of a god, so Reagan was a bit of an odd person. inspiration of the year for what I've done. Okay. That's a good question, but I'll get back to that. So basically, that's what's going on. People, the bean counters have taken control again, and there's going to be a revolution. So somebody like me will do the Time War, and it'll be like, what the hell is this? And people want to watch it. For example, I'm not saying it's me. My commitment now, and to talk about my inspiration on that question, my only inspiration is not to imitate. And it's taken me years to get to this point, you know.
Yeah.
I've been ripped off by, you know, people. That's okay. You want to steal from me? Go right ahead. If you have to steal from me, you got a problem, not me. You know, that's okay. But my inspiration is people like Stanley Kubrick, who's just said to hell with everything. And I dare say the early George Lucas, you know, even the Empire, you know, even Empire Strikes Back, the greatest film ever made. The art direction in that. But, you know, my inspiration is from true art, and even Dune 2, Dune, you know, the Sand movie, part 2,
Yeah.
Dune, part 2, a work of art. And I own the same lenses, some of them. So I'm like, ooh, you know, truly a great work of art. And I would say it's way better than one, which is saying a lot. You know, that should have the Oscar, by the way. That's my Oscar pick. But my inspiration is people who now step back and just say, I want to do something for art's sake, you know, and I have torn my heart and soul out to make the Time War. It is.
We have.
I described it to somebody. They said it sounds like The Boys with Nazis. So it's not really got Nazis in it, and no, it's nothing like that. But it's brutal in a similar way. Less comedy, of course. But it's, you know, I'm just going back into my heart and soul, and I'm going back to redo all my VFX now. It's Kubrick is the only thing I care about anymore. And yes, I own some. Yeah, John Savage, one of the great. I know the guy really well, and I hope one day he'll be in one of my films. But we both lost our houses in the fire, so he lived up the road from me. Lovely guy. Anyway, so you know, anything I'm doing from this point forward, I've got to, and I'm going to go back and redo the effects in my old films. But literally, I'm building physical models. I'm building physical robots. You know, I've got CG robots in some of my films. Redoing those effects with physical models, big giant spaceships, massive ones, you know.
Yeah.
It's all been redone because I just can't handle looking at my old crap that's CG. At the time, it looked good.
Really?
But it's dated. Oh, yeah, it looked good. In 2001, you look at Battle Space in 2001. That was a wow. Well done.
You'd be constantly upgrading it, won't you, and updating it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Humanity's End, another great film of mine. Beloved movie. Have you seen that? Have you seen
Probably.
Humanity's
I've
End?
watched most of your stuff, yeah.
Okay.
You keep changing the names of your movie.
It's a story.
Keep up.
It's the last man in the universe being hunted down by the extinction.
Yeah.
Okay, but the idea is, you know, and I'm testing one. I've got another. We're doing a shoot very soon with Tracy Birdsall for the Rogue Warrior movie. We're doing a prequel, 20 minutes, which will be part of the series. But the idea is, I've got a new technique to do VFX, brand new. Nobody's doing it except me, and doesn't mean it's going to work. But it's all based around physical models, all shot at the same time. It's kind of like the old school of filmmaking, basically, but with digital 8K cameras. And that's going to open the door for the new way, you know, forward. So yeah, I've got a short 20-minute Rogue Warrior thing coming out. And I've got the Time War should be out hopefully in 6 months. Yeah, I need some model builders. I am the worst model builder on the planet. I've tried.
Mr. B, where are you? Mr. B is a good.
Oh, I need really high end model builders. You know.
Yeah, he's a really good model builder.
I got to build a new studio. You know, that's the thing. Because when you do spaceship shots, you need a studio. You know, that's the reality. So, Cat City. Oh, that's clever. Cat City. Yeah, I did a music video for Rhapsody, so that's very clever. Yeah, it's all physical effects, and Time War has a lot of physical effects. Yeah. The only thing we didn't do physical in the Time War is at the end. You know, the lead person in that, the Time War's in production.
Yeah,
right now. Which we're talking about right now, which is the lead character is obsessed with the War of the Worlds, and she dreams of building an army of Martian tripods. And we actually have giant walking tripods in it doing battle and the end of the Time War. So what we did for it, the legs you can't do. I've tried building walking tripods, doesn't work. But we've actually got the legs are CG, but the head is physical. So it's actually matted on top, and you literally have physical Martian, well, not Martian, but physical walking tripods, the big metal head on top, walking around like a tank with legs. The only thing we couldn't do was the leg animation. That was impossible. I mean, just they couldn't even do it in the 50s at the height of, they actually tried doing stop motion for tripods. It's really hard. I don't want to think about it. It's so painful. It's like the walkers in Star Wars. Thank God they had 4 legs. 3, now that's hard. 4 is easy.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
And they spent months.
Spielberg once to put a load of walkers in his War of the Worlds.
Who's that? Sorry?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but they were CG, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them were CG. I mean, I even saw a sneak. May have seen the sneak preview of the Mandalorian movie. They've got Imperial walkers in that, which I think great. I hope they look as good as the models.
Yeah,
guys, really.
I'm
but
sure,
then
I'm sure there will be models.
I don't think they will. It's
really?
I know how hard it. I don't think, because I tell you what, the other thing I saw the Mandalorian on a 2-legged walker going down some snow, very CG looking. It's very hard to do walkers,
Put the
physically.
link in, Andy.
Yeah, marketing director Neil to my Cromford walk. Okay, robot jocks. Yeah, but stop motion. You see, I haven't seen robot jocks, but I've done a lot of what the advent of AI, does it affect your filmmaking? Oh my God, I'm very qualified to make this statement. Okay, AI. All right, so my brain really understands computers and AI since the age of 16 or 17. I've really known about it. AI is a useful tool. It's like Photoshop. That's all it is. Back in the day, people had photographs and they cut them up and glued them together. And then you got Photoshop. It's going to change everything. Digital cameras changed everything. But AI is a painful tool. Now, I'm going to make this really big prediction. AI will kill things like Doctor Strange. You've watched Doctor Strange, all this great CG, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be fantastic. Look how many this and that we can do.
Yeah.
Look at all the particle animation, it's months to render, and you go, oh yeah, great. I mean, I'm just being honest. I love Doctor Strange, but in about 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, all that animation you were seeing in Doctor Strange will be AI generated, and any person can do it. It's almost there already. I'm not joking. It's so close. You give it 5 years, a bit of programming, a bit of cleverness.
Yeah.
The Marvel films
5-10 years time, what it's going to be like?
I would say less than within 5. The Marvel films, all those Marvel films, all that cartoony stuff, dead, gone. It's already game over for Marvel, unless they change. So Rob Bubbets, don't do 3-legged walkers. So all that stuff is gone. So what are we left with? AI is killing. It's going to kill the VFX industry. It's already killed the music industry. AI has already killed the incidental music industry. The library music industry is gone. It's already gone. One of my composers has already said, oh, it's so good. What do I do? I said, yeah, I know. It is that good. I'm using it to help remix some music. I use AI to remix some of the music. But it's not that good, but it's getting better.
Right.
AI needs creativity to feed it. It's a machine. So all you're only going to get is a pale imitation of humanity. So the only way we can win against AI as filmmakers is to reject the concept of big VFX and green screen, and even that damned, what do you call it? The thing, that big screen they use in The Mandalorian, the name.
Oh yeah, the blah, blah, blah. but I can stop tipping my tongue. Oh,
Somebody help us! That big TV screen, that big
yeah,
giant in the studio they use for the Mandalorian. The volume.
yeah,
Okay,
volume.
so the
That's
volume.
it.
Okay, even I look at the volume and go, and I'm not joking because it doesn't emit as much light. I get it. It's great. It's a perfect tool. It really is. But I can smell that a mile away. You look at the volume, look at Kenobi. Worst color grading I've ever seen. Sorry. I know what I'm talking about. It is too dark. Why, if they had the volume, why did they shoot on a quarry? I don't get that. When they could have gone to a planet Iceland, for example, or they could have gone to the volume and had this weird planet you've never seen before. Would have been incredible. But everything's too dark because the volume levels and everything. I know what's going on. It's a technical nightmare. I don't care what they say. It's still easier. The secret is now you take your good cameras, your digital cinema cameras, take your old lenses. I'm going to show you an old lens. This is a lens that they used on Dune 2. That's why it looks so good. Okay. It's a Russian lens. It's a Helios Russian lens, just as an example. I don't know if you can see that. Focus. Anyway, I'm just showing you. Shitty lens. But it's got character. It's got life.
That's it.
That's the secret. Humans love watching humans. They can tell when AI is there because it just doesn't have it has the uncanny valley. Humans love humans. And I've known this for a long time. If I'd been doing Rogue One, and I know it wasn't, the fault of the director. I know this. It was somebody else's decision. The Princess Leia and the Tarkin thing.
Yeah.
Faces don't matter. I've rewatched Mandalorian season 2, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. That is.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you get? There's other way. I know they're
The
trying
guy
to
that they
improve it.
used though,
It was
actually
close.
looks like a young Mark
Yeah.
Hamill. So why not just
We are
use
more. It's just because they got so punished by this Solo thing, mentally. It's just like fear. Use a real actor because no matter what, the actor's going to bring some life to it. It's going to bring some magic, some emotion. Humans don't react to, I'm going to take the baby and train it. I'm going to. I mean, that's what I was saying. So, and Mark Hamill's such a good actor. So imagine they got an actor like him. He was coached. They coached. I'm going to take the baby and train it. See how my face moves. You can't do that with these freaking. They got to stop it. It'll never be that. Maybe it'll be that good one day, but don't blow your load on such a big property. Practice on smaller stuff.
Yeah,
Experiment
that's true.
with smaller
Yeah.
things. They should have done real humans, in all ways.
Yeah,
How exciting was it when Vader's helmet got ripped off in Kenobi and you see the real Anakin underneath? Oh my God. It's like breaks your heart,
Yeah.
That's gold, so I think that's it's just that's the secret of the future. So yeah, to hell with AI. It's what it is, a great tool. But I can only, and this is my pledge, great cinematic lenses, real locations, real explosions, real drama, maybe a bit of CG enhancement because you have to, physical spaceships on location. I am building them right now. Final Fantasy, beautiful film, by the way, beautiful film. All CG, all 3D, but my God, it's painful. Didn't make good money. Final Fantasy cost so much money, so much effort, bombed financially. I thought it was an absolute work of art. I loved it. Humans want to watch humans. That's why we love Baby Yoda, because he's a physical puppet, and that's glory. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, that's the future. What are your inspirations over the years? Okay. What have you done in Hollywood? For all that you've done, only Stanley Kubrick now. I try not to imitate other people. I've been involved with some horrendous productions with overages and this and that. And, when I've got the budget, when I'm in control of things, I've got a big giant robot that I could, I wish I could show it to you. Have I got any props here? No. But I've got a big giant robot that's like this big. I mean, it's a monster.
Yeah.
And see if I can find it on my phone, and I'll bring it up. But that thing's real. I built it with my own hands. It's got character, and it's got Paul Darrow's voice in it. You know, it's a real robot. Yeah, be original, but take pointers. You've got to be original as possible and ignore what everyone's doing. But you've got to learn. I'm just going to show you, you know, what things I love. You got to learn to make mistakes and do your best, and then once you know all the rules, you can break them, and that's the trick. You know, just I'm breaking every rule I can. I'm doing everything wrong. I'm doing everything wrong. Okay, so is that going to show? Okay, so that thing there.
Wow.
Now I'm going to tell you. Okay, so I built that with my own hands. Thanks to Dexter's camera, who gave me a lot of bits. Dexter's camera in Ventura. You know, they helped me with all the lenses and stuff.
That's
Wonderful
cool.
people. Hi, Greg. So that thing will have the voice of Paul Darrow. It lights up too. It's got beautiful red eyes. And, you know, it's puppeteered and everything, and its wings fold up and everything. And it's a real character in the Time War, as opposed to a CG 3D thing. So when you look at that, you will feel something about it. Doesn't mean it's perfectly built, but it means it will still resonate with you perfectly. Another character we had in Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter, which you can watch on YouTube right now for free, had a character called Hoagland, and he was a physical ball robot thing. Looked a lot like the baby capsule for the baby Yoda, Grogu. Sorry, Grogu, the child. Looked a lot like that, but he was a physical thing. We took him on location and filmed with him, and the Scouse puppet. No. But people loved his character because he was a physical robot on set, and he was puppeteered. People fell in love with him. He had a great voice. An actor from where was he from? He's an English actor. He lives in Los Angeles. From Manchester, sorry. Wonderful voice. People reacted because it's a real human voice, a real robot on location, on a stick. Yeah. It was wonderful. You never expected a piece of plastic to come alive, but that's the great about it. And if I did a cartoon robot, oh, look at me, I'm a cartoon. Nah, not interesting for people. We're done with that. And I put a lot of effort into not getting a cutesy voice, but a real character voice, which sounds like a real person. And that's why Paul Darrow did such a good job with that robot thing. Tony Gibbons did a great job with Hoagland. It goes on and on. It's a tradition now. So puppeted robots, way more exciting. And when they're dead, you can put them on the ground, set them on fire, and they're dead. I set things on fire a lot. Sorry to blabber on. Hit me with some questions. I'm sorry.
You didn't do the church, did you?
No.
Still don't know. Well, we kind of do.
Yeah,
know.
That was a mystery why it burned down.
Yeah.
But I made the use of it. So
a lot of things burned down.
Yeah.
Well, nearly all your films are time travel. You love time travel, don't you?
Are they? I gotta think about that. No. It's just lately it's been a few.
Yeah. I was watching. I'm not going to show the video, but I was watching a video the other night on a theory on Back to the Future, and I just want to run it through you.
Okay.
That George McFly didn't have the gumption to knock out Biff until he drunk the punch.
Oh.
Now in part 2, Biff's gang are putting whiskey in the punch, so it's giving him Dutch courage to knock out Biff.
Yeah.
And then, when Marty's disappearing, George sees him disappearing because he gets split up, doesn't he, from Lorraine, and he's walking away from Lorraine, and he sees Marty disappearing, and he because he's a sci-fi buff, is George, and then he thinks he's my son, so he goes back and sorts it all out. I just thought that was just a massive theory, and
it's possible, isn't it?
Watching that, it just boom.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because they used to give
Yeah,
whiskey to soldiers in World War One to make them aggressive.
yeah.
So
But it isn't until part 2 you see him putting the whiskey in the punch.
interesting. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I used to love those films. I love time
Yeah.
travel. And I love space opera stuff. It's the two
Mm.
things I'm into. So, I'm only happy. But I think I've exhausted my time travel after the Time War. I think I'm done with time travel. I had to go deep dive on the science of time travel.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
well,
robot in 75 was a bit
you said
rubbish
any
until
science you can make it up as you go along, can't you?
say that again?
With time travel, you can make it up as you go along because nobody's actually time traveled.
No, you can't.
It's
If
like
you're gonna do crap time travel,
apart from Marvel,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
yeah.
they'd ruin time travel.
Well, I had the whole multiverse thing going in 95 in this. That was all there. And because of Marvel, I got so disgusted by their multiverse and their lack of science. Because it's like that, it's just like that everywhere, everything all at once. Oh, here's a reality where everyone has hot dogs for fingers. It's not intelligent sci-fi. It's not intelligent time travel. So I've peeled back the surface of time travel, and would I go back in time? Nah, I'd go ahead. It's more fun. But I peeled back the surface of time travel, really examined how it works, and I've gone outside the universe and looked back in the time war. So it's a big story. It's going to mess with people. Most people say it doesn't make sense. It does make sense, but you need me to explain it, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
I'm
go
really
into it
looking
here, but
forward to it. I've known about this for nearly 10 years now. I'm
yeah.
really looking forward to it.
Oh,
Really, and you've
it's
obviously known about it for longer because you wrote the bugger.
yeah. I birthed it. I did.
Yeah,
Or started wrote it in 95, kind of half wrote it in 92. So that's, I've been living with it for a long time.
yeah.
Those characters existed and they've been drawn up. We have
Mm.
artwork from 1995 for the characters, even a trailer made back in 95. So the plan.
I was doing a live stream the other day. I do auction live streams, and somebody asked me, what if George Lucas had waited till 2017 to do Star Wars? But I expanded on that and I said, what if he'd actually died in his car accident and there'd been no Star Wars?
Well,
We took most of the live stream out on that one because it's
yeah.
if you think
Well,
about it, movies would be different and toys would be different.
100%. I've had discussion. I actually, I did the world's first digital film in 1995, 96.
Yeah.
And I was told I was an idiot for doing it in Australia. I was really poo-pooed for doing it. But George Lucas in 1999 or year 2000, I think, he and Rick McCallum came across and wanted to, in Sydney, we're doing a big thing there, wanted to discuss with me what I knew about it, how I did it, all the information. They just wanted to suck me dry of information. And I gave it freely, of course, because I was excited. And Rick McCallum just chain smoking the whole time.
Yeah.
George is very small, kind of short, which I was very impressed with the fact that he was small, because I thought, my God, the power of this brain inside this human being. Oh, I was in awe of the fact that he was so, that this is the power of the mind. And I was like, it changed my life. Just hanging out and looking at him was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But they wanted to know all this information because, again, we can say, yeah, there's no Star Wars. There would have still been Jaws. Would have still been Close Encounters. So, we would have been in a similar place for sure. But I'm going to, look at, so Star Wars Episode 1 is done, shot on 35mm film, except for the scene in Anakin's bedroom. And they told me this in the year 2000. They shot that on the Sony camera, the digital camera, the test camera to test that. Big secret. But I think it doesn't matter anymore because, whatever.
No.
But they kind of told me about the problems they had and what they did and all the cables and stuff. And I said, how did you get it to your stuff look like film? Because George did see, got a VHS of my movie, the first one. And I explained to them about using real film, and I overlaid the 35mm film. I deinterlaced it, did all this stuff. And they said, oh,
Right.
lovely, good. But it was all about adding the 35mm texture back in.
Yeah.
So then they came to do Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And what people don't realize is, or maybe not remember, I'm very fond of that movie because they pushed the boundaries. Green screen movie, horrible idea. Yes. At the time, it was, wonderful.
Oh, it was the way forward, wasn't it?
I've done it too. I would never do it again. But, you got to learn. You got to push yourself out there. That revolutionized cinema, brought the digital age in completely. I saw Episode 2. I got invited to a screening at the Chinese Theater in Los Angeles in digital. And it was incredible. I mean, I was just like, we actually did a side-by-side of digital scan to film and digital projected in digital. And my God, the digital looks so good. And I was like, oh, thank God I've been doing digital. But that's what changed all the cinemas, and it changed the delivery methods. It was the greatest revolution, and they'll never talk about it now, but they eventually, in 100 years, that's going to be the milestone of where it all changed. Not Neil Johnson doing a digital film because he's broke, can't afford 16 mil. It was George Lucas making the decision to do Attack of the Clones and release it in digital. And Episode 3, only digital, no film prints. Thank you. God bless him.
Yep.
It's all now that way. So, you got to look at so much we wouldn't have. Some of it we would. I mean, you just don't know. But it's just the way, he has done so much for cinema and toys.
Totally.
Even though he just signed an agreement. But he's pretty much changed the industry more than anyone has ever changed the film industry apart from the Méliès brothers. I mean, he's that big, and they won't talk about him in such a big way until he's gone. And for those people, look, if you want to know how good he really is as a storyteller, go look at Episode 7, 8, and 9. Is that right? No, 8, 9, and 10. No, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Go look at the storytelling of the prequels. Look at the storytelling of some of the Star Wars TV shows, and then watch the sequels. Sorry, let me start again. Look at what George did with the prequels.
Yeah.
Step back from the digital stuff for a second and consider it as a story. Does the story work? Was Episode 1 designed to be targeted at young people? Fully realized CG character Jar Jar. Now we are a little bit sorry the way we spoke about Jar Jar at the time he was. Now we're sorry. We're deeply sorry for what we said and thought. But we all thought, one way. Episode 2, I will defend that film because I get it. I get the problems, but I look at the good parts of it. You've got frickin', Boba Fett and Jango Fett.
Yep.
You've got some great sword. You've got Christopher Lee with a sword finally again. You've got, a great
Yoda with the.
You've got Coruscant. You've got so much good stuff. And then you go to Episode 3, and you've got, Palpatine just going ballistic and going no. I mean, we remember the great acting, and we should focus on the great character moments. And that's the glory of these films, and it will grow and grow. And I wish Lucasfilm could pull their finger out and just redo all the VFX in Episode 1, 2, and 3. It would be incredible. If you could work with any actor you wanted for free, who would you have?
Me.
Yeah, you'll do. Richard Burton.
Oh yes.
But Paul Darrow and Richard Burton are like brothers to me. You listen to those voices. I really enjoyed Attack of the Clones. I'll defend it. Just because at the time, nobody saw the bad VFX. Everyone said this is incredible, because I remember, it was. I didn't think the Phantom Menace was that bad either, but I'm not a fan of it
No,
personally
I like
because
it.
I'm not a 10-year-old boy. It wasn't made for me,
No.
So, Attack of the Clones made for 13-year-old boys. Yeah. Revenge of the Sith made for 16-year-olds. I mean, that's kind of their, their demographic. So, which female? Not sure what that means. Somebody help. What does which female mean? I'm reading the questions there.
Yeah, it's just a follow-up to that one.
If you could have any actor you wanted for free. Oh, female. Oh, Kate Blanchett. Sorry. Kate Blanchett. Tracy Birtle. I am begging her right now. I am begging her to do this extra little sequence. She's very busy at the moment. Right. By the way, there's a Netflix thing. I Think You Should Leave Now, season 2. I think episode 5. I think. It's a comedy show, and they put her in a sci-fi themed restaurant.
Oh wow!
And I think that's typecasting. But it's so freaking funny. You want to see?
That's your fault.
Yeah, I hope so. But you should see her acting. I mean, it's incredible, and it's a comedy show. So I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, season 2, episode 4 or 5. Kate Beckinsale's a great actress too. But it's just I've had such a good experience working with her. I just want one more crack at it, to do some great stuff, because there's a big actress. I mean, she's really that good. But you kind of want to get people in their prime, and she's still in her prime. So it's just one of those things. I mean, if Tracy Birtle, that's who we're talking about. That's who we're talking about. So that image can take you a long way, but she can act, and that's the point. There's an actress behind that. It's not just a great set of abs. It's a it's a character.
And that weapon.
Oh, that gun. Yeah, the gun. Wonderful.
Right, I'm going to picture something now that I think.
Okay.
Have you seen this TV series UFO, the Jerry Anderson UFO?
I love UFO. I love the theme music. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, I've got gay list there. Look.
Oh, dude, you have no idea how much Ed Straker was such a smart man. The way he's dressed, priest collar.
We need a remake, please.
Can you get Space 1999 a remake of that? Wasn't Space 1999 a remake?
Well, it was going to be season 2, wasn't it? But
yeah, it was.
The American audience the American producer said, no, we don't want all that. They've actually made this a moon base and everything like that for season 2. They got all the actors back.
Yeah.
But then they wanted American actors. And I said, no, we're not going to take it if you don't take American actors. And if you want this. So they had to change it all, and it changed it to Space 1999, which is okay.
Yeah.
But not UFO.
Gave us the Eagle, by the way. It gave us the Eagle. Space 1999. But see, I love UFOs. It's just, I have such a thing about it. It's such a weird show. Cumberbatch's mother is in it.
Yes. Yes.
She wears purple, that purple shirt. But she's so cool, Colonel Lake.
Gabrielle Drake for me.
Yeah.
See, she could be in it. She's still around. She could be in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's
just the premise of it. It's never been used. I think kind of used in V, but not to the same.
You'd have to do it in such a way that it's done practical, though. Think about it. No CG. Imagine you do UFO, but you do it practical, modern practical. It would be incredible. I could carry that outfit. I think if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And I don't know. You see, no matter what you do, you're going to get abuse from people. So I'd rather be original. I'd rather say, let's do something new and fresh. Because if you look at all the top, the last couple of months in the box office, all the movies that made the most money, and that's been this way for a while. You've got Deadpool, number 3. You've got, you know, with Wolverine. You got before you got Dune 2, of course. What else was there this week?
Alien.
Alien 6 or 7, whatever that thing was. Haven't seen it, so I don't know. But everything is derivative. Everything's a piece of a franchise. Nothing. There's no original movies. And of course, when they bring out an original movie, well, it was based on a video game that, you know, Kate Blanchett was in it. Hasn't done so well. Don't know why. Not my interest to know or care, but you know, it's based on a computer game. But where are the original films that
Borderlands?
Borderlands, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, sorry it didn't do so good, but you know, again, they're relying on their CG. Imagine you have real physical stuff going on, real dirt, you know. But the secret is with all of this, where's the original stuff? Where's the next Star Wars? It's not there.
This is what I keep
Where's
saying.
the new Jaws? You know, everything's a copy of Jaws, but where's the original stuff? You've got to have a set of balls to make stuff and commit yourself to doing something original.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed. Hollywood won't do anything. Won't go out on a limb and do something different. They want to do something safe and something similar.
I pitched the Time War since '95, and people said we don't understand what is it. Well, we don't know what this is. What would you compare it to? And I can't, because it's an original piece. I'm not saying it's going to be big, but it's a completely original piece. There's no reference whatsoever to it. So, you know, I've been there constantly. And, you know, then I do the Chrononaut. I'll give you a good example. The Chrononaut movie shot in Moley, a time travel thing about a time traveling virus called the Chronovirus. I know, 2015. Okay. You know, exactly the same kind of sickness. Anyway, so the Chronovirus, and it was meant to be a bit more of a drama. So I did the distribution company said, we want some, because you're a sci-fi dude, we need some sci-fi action at the beginning. So they said, can we please have a big space battle at the start? Okay, yes, I can do that. Originally, it was meant to be this guy from the future who crashes, and they get to, is he from the future or not? You get to find by the end, you figure it out. Yes, he is. Not a big budget, very low budget, but that was meant to be a drama. And they demanded all these things. And so I put it in. But then so you get the movie. It's called Doomsday, and it's called Death Machine. They were the two names they used.
At the moment, yeah. So
then I said, to hell with that. I took out that opening space battle, did the movie my way, renamed it Chrononaut. So that's why there's so many different versions. Now there's a 4K version coming very soon, which will be more my style of the movie, the way I was originally meant to do it. That's coming, by the way, halfway through that. But it's you know, it was an original thing, and even the demands to make it look like this or that, it's got to be like the Terminator. I was told. Seriously, I was told it has to be like the Terminator because it's time travel sci-fi. I mean, they said we won't buy it unless you make it like the Terminator. And it's not enough Terminator. Can you put a spaceship in it? You know, a space battle in it. So yeah, Invasion Earth. Are you talking about Dalek Invasion Earth?
I think so.
Invasion Earth. I don't even remember it. Was that? Yeah. You see? No, nobody remembers it. We knew something the audience are jumping. The original was little. Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of that right now in that situation. Exactly that fact. I had all this exposition in the script of the new thing I'm about to shoot, and I pulled it all out. Just let it happening. No, TV series Invasion. Oh, that was yeah, and I do kind of recall it. Don't remember. Invasion Earth, yeah. It's a thing. You see, we don't remember it because it sounds like probably because it sounds like another. I've done, 3 alien invasion movies myself.
I remember the Invaders in the 60s.
David Vincent.
Yeah. With the finger. Yeah. I loved that.
I never saw it. I never saw it.
Oh, it was really
I heard
good.
about it. Yeah, I missed it, you see. I was traveling. I was flying. By the way, talking about time travel, in 1970, I saw the first thing I ever watched in color was Star Trek, and straight after Star Trek was Doctor Who in color, and it was the John Pertwee Silurian episode, and that scared the living daylights out of me. So
Invaders was on like Saturday night. It was like a more of an adulty type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I miss some of these things, Another thing I was really a big fan of was the Tripods, Tripods TV series, which took the place of Doctor Who, and then the geniuses, and I say geniuses very loosely, at BBC canned the season 3. Yeah. You know how stupid that was? They could have monetized the crap out of the Tripods if they did season 3. They basically cut it off mid-story. So you got book 1, Tripods book 2, and then book 3. No, let's cut it off right about when the story's getting going, and we're gonna have the big season 3 of the Tripods. And I loved that because they used physical models. They had physical tripods, and you can tell
of course they do.
They can barely move. One leg, 2 legs. BBC production Invasion Earth. Fred Warren as well. See, I've never heard of it. No, I tell you, another big inspiration was Children of the Stones, and there was another one with the rocks come alive. I forget. The Autons are terrifying. But I like the fact
it was the Mummies for me. It was Sutek for me. I'd watched John Pertwee, but it would the Tom Baker ones with the Mummies. Well, they scared me.
Well, imagine my confusion. So I watched John Pertwee. It's all I knew was John Pertwee. That was it. 1970 to 72. It's all I knew was John Pertwee and the Daleks, and I was obsessed with Daleks, like everyone. And then we moved to Australia, for a few years, 1972. And then, it's like, there's nothing to watch, no sci-fi, no toys, had nothing. I one day turned on the TV and I saw Doctor Who, but I didn't see the opening. So I saw this guy looked like John Pertwee, but it was like, he's not John Pertwee. He's got brown hair. Did John Pertwee dye his hair? I see the TARDIS and the Brigadier, but who's this doctor? He's not the same doctor. And I was angry. It's like, what happened to John Pertwee? Nobody explained it. I missed the bit where he regenerated, you see.
I must have seen him regenerate because I've never really questioned the change.
It took me ages to like Tom Baker because nobody explained that he turned into John Pertwee. I was literally nobody. I was 7 years old. Nobody said, okay, he's going to because I missed those 5 minutes. All I saw was in them battling this big robot. First episode of Tom Baker.
that was meant for John Pertwee, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it was so confusing to me, but
I think
could have recapped.
It took a while for the public to like Tom Baker, and then once they did first couple of seasons, it was the longest running one. His longest running one.
Yeah, he became beloved, but that's why I'm always a John Pertwee fan because he was so.
They have to get rid of him. So
he was such a dandy.
Sapphire and Still, that was fantastic. Love that. That was very adult.
Is that Joanna Lumley?
It wasn't a kid type of sci-fi, was it? It was.
Was that Joanna Lumley?
Joanna Lumley, yeah, and David McCallum.
So I was getting my visa for the US once. I was in London in the Children of Stones, amazing. I was in London in the immigration area, and I actually tomorrow people, and I actually saw Joanna Lumley in the flesh, and oh my God, she is so trim and fit and so well presented. I was like, oh my God. You don't get the sense of that as a person till you see them in the flesh. She was so well preserved, so beautifully presented, with everything. Tomorrow People, another show I absolutely love. I used to try and join. I even had a Tomorrow Person belt, which I built myself. And I'd wear it to school. No, seriously, I'd wear it to school, pretend I was a Tomorrow Person because I was in Australia and I was the only British person there, and I was hated for being British. And I mean,
really?
Oh my God, dude. Well, think of this. It was 1972 to 73, 74, 75. In that timeline, there was Australian people and British people, and the arch nemesis of the Australians was the British, because of the way they were treated by the British in World War One and World War Two, and also they played them at cricket and football. So there was the arch enemy. But unfortunately, it kind of it got embattered into the people. So a little, very short British boy walking around, every day I would get beaten up. Coming home from school, and call a pommy bastard and this and that. And I mean, it was they didn't have anyone else to hate, because there's a British boy, let's beat him up, and he's shorter than us. And I learned to fight. I learned to punch. Seriously, I did karate and had to fight my way out of situations. And then I decided the best way it is to integrate and develop an Australian accent. So I started speaking Australian. Nobody said a word after that. So, I used to pretend I was a Tomorrow person. I would try and jaunt out of the situation, because, I'd watch that. It's like, well, I miss England, especially Miss Morley, and I miss the newsagent, you get Star Wars Weekly and all that, all those comics and stuff. And so, I just wish I could jaunt back to England. That's all I wanted to do. It's a thing. Tomorrow people.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm a Tomorrow person.
Right. Anything you want to pitch before we go?
No, just go to my YouTube channel. YouTube Empire Motion Pictures, or at Empire MP, Empire Motion Pictures. Just type that in; it'll come to me. And watch my movies. And this is going to sound really weird, but it really helps if you hit like. It really helps if you give a comment. Like and subscribe. I know they say that, but it actually really helps, because right now any income from that actually helps pay for the upcoming shoot we've got coming with Tracy Birdsall, where we do the green and the blue episode. Love that. So that's actually coming up really soon. Yeah, box set. They've been trying to do that for ages. That's coming soon, but not so soon.
I remember your DVDs being in was it Morrison's? I think.
Oh yeah, they're all in the shops.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
I know him.
Yeah. I'd like $1, please.
Yeah.
But it's basically, the golden algorithm. It really helps dramatically if you get your friends to watch my crap, because it helps get the algorithm going. But coming soon is a Rogue Warrior 20-minute, movie with these all new VFX. A toy collector, massive toy collector, and famous actually for collecting. He was driving me around a lot, and he was helping me with the film. He plays the dead body in that. Blake had a toy shop in Australia called the Fan Attic, which is a very famous toy shop. He used to get up to no good. That's a guest you should have on, because my God, the things you could get on there. Thank you for the sub.
Everybody should sub.
Yeah, he's a massive toy collector. I sold him my toy collection to pay for my third film. So yeah, I used to collect Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
I had an original vinyl Cape Jawa. How did I get this? I went to the shop. There was a toy shop in Australia. The guy had imported some Star Wars toys from the US. One of those was a vinyl Cape Jawa. I grabbed it, tore it open, played with it. Said, "Why? This is a tiny action figure." And then the other version of the Jawa came out. So I like this other version much more. Yeah, I actually owned it. I don't know where it is. It's gone. But I owned it. My favorite action figure was the Luke, because of the lightsaber and stuff. I had all of them,
Yeah.
I even had a cardboard Death Star. I begged my parents to buy it for me. Adored that.
It'll have been a Toll Toys one then, won't it?
It was. It was Toll Toys.
Do you know how much they're worth now?
Yeah, don't tell me.
Not a rocket fighting Boba Fett. That went for 1 million, didn't it?
Yeah, but I it's just what it is.
Yeah.
If we had a time travel, yes, we would go back and say, please make 10 more. Here's $1,000.
Yeah. Get all the yak faces from Woolworths at 50p.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I mean, talk to Blake about, Star Wars collecting one day. He has got some of those incredible stories. Blake Edgerton used to own, he's owned TARDISes. I mean, many. Daleks, full size. Day of the Triffids. He had a full size one of those. I mean, stuff like you wouldn't imagine could ever be owned. He's had it all. He had an original stormtrooper from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Got stolen. They were making molds of it. Somebody swiped it in Australia. He's a collecting god. And I stuck him. And Blake Edgerton, by the way, is also in my third film, Battle Space. So that's just how it is. It's just he's one of those guys. He's a legend.
You might get me in one of your films one day.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Yeah. I'm too shy.
Yeah, maybe. It's okay. We can still do it. I got to cover you in blood.
I do voice work in movies, mate.
No, well, that's true. You could, but we can give you a big ass gun.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. This is still on the cards. I'm just saying I will respect the offer made, and I will promise to do it one day.
Your people will talk to my people.
Yeah. But my people, I mean money. No, I can't afford Mark. That's true. He's been very good to me.
I would work for free for Neil. Excellent.
Mark's been really good to me, by the way. I when the fire happened, I lost the last of my collection because I'm a big Boba Fett fan, etc. And I had my favorite toy was the white Boba Fett. He burned. I had 3 of them, actually, 3 different versions. They all sizzled, burned to a crisp, and then Mark gave me a replacement, which was very kind. Thank you.
Did you ever get the eagle back? You bought the eagle from my shop, didn't you?
No, that's gone.
Gone.
Well, hang on.
Try and find you one.
Yeah, one day. You mean the green one? Or was it? No, I'm trying to remember what happened. Somebody gave me a model kit of one too. I love the eagle, but don't kill yourself. Okay. We're talking about toy collecting. Sorry, is it going on? I used to own a lot of stuff, a lot of Star Wars crap, and I say crap because I love it. I've owned it all, and one day you have to sell some of it to make a movie. Yeah, don't talk about eagles. And you sell it thinking one day you'll buy it back, and you never do, and that's okay. And you think, okay. I know. And then one day you start collecting a bunch of stuff, and you're happy with it all. You got, nice, got another Luke and this and that, and all these great action figures, all big Boba Fett collection. And then a fire comes in and wipes everything out. You got nothing except the clothes on your back and a camera, a little toy camera I had. And you think, oh, but then you think, once it's gone, you don't miss it. You think it's okay because I owned it once, and it doesn't. It's less devastating than you might think, and then you fall in love with the concept of not owning crap, not owning anything. And look at, I mean, I see what you have in the back wall, and I'm very jealous, deadly envious of everything you've got, but it's nice. I've become a minimalist, and I like not owning stuff, but I like to visit people who've got the stuff so I can play with it. So, there's actually more pleasure in me coming to visit and playing with your toys. Yeah. Because then I don't have to carry it with me. I've got a couple of things that have been gifted to me that, like, what you gave me, which mean more to me because it was a gift. But collecting now has been completely erased from my life. Because if I want to go play with an eagle, I can go to your place.
It's probably like a burden off your shoulder. I can understand that.
Well, my friend Blake has got the full $6 million man action figure collection, mint in box.
I've just sold the Bionic Woman today. It's down here. I've just sold it.
Yeah, he's got them all mint in a box.
Yeah,
and I was going, oh my god, even got the Bigfoot, and but guess what? And I used to have all the Planet of the Apes dolls as well. But now I can get this. I can get in the car and I can drive to the Planet of the Apes. I can go to the location. I can go Malibu Creek State Park, and I can walk there, and I can see the water bit and the mountain and everything, the Planet of the Apes mountain, as I call it. Yeah. I can walk where they shot all of that, and I can
Yeah.
go to the beach for the end scene of
And you can go, damn dirty apes.
yeah. I know exactly where those two scenes were filmed. Exactly.
Oh,
To the millimeter. Because I used to live there, and I can go visit the Planet of the Apes
see,
anytime I want. I can go to Tatooine anytime I want.
the
Think
thing
of that.
is, I went to the Andor location in Blackpool because
Mhm.
I'd have a field day there because
Yeah.
every day I'd be in a different location saying this is where this was filmed, this is where this because they filmed Secret Invasion, Marvel Secret Invasion in Leeds, and I
Oh,
was there. I watched it being filmed. But every time I go now, oh, this is where they filmed this, and I went to Halifax last week and they filmed it there as well. So I'm mentioning it all the time, but you could do videos every day going, this is where
yeah.
it was filmed. Oh, I'd love
But
that.
it's cool, you know. That Return of the Jedi, Death Valley. I was there a few weeks ago. Again, right where R2D2 and C3PO walked.
Running through the woods.
Oh
all
no,
the
no, no, the
all the
Tatooine stuff.
right,
Yeah.
that's what I mean, yeah.
I mean, I could show you every location on the planet, where they shot
Yeah.
this stuff. I can go to where they shot the Mandalorian in Malibu, but no interest in that.
I am
Loved it, loved, loved it.
I'm looking to go to Whitby, where they filmed, the last Indiana Jones film, where the train was on the bridge.
Was that Whitby?
All the train sequences was near Whitby.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
need to go. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go
Hmm.
to where they were all filmed.
Well, when you're there, you can also go to where they shot Chrononaut, available on YouTube for free.
Yes,
Because I shot Chrononaut in Whitby as well.
Yeah, that's a
No, really, that big church on the top,
yeah.
with the old. That's right in Whitby. It's all Whitby, and we say it's Whitby. Yeah, we having existential crises, but that's what I like. Is a fact. Halifax, I'm so sorry. Well, the spaceship from Planet of the Apes, an outside diner in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, the spaceship from Planet of the Apes ended up in a diner because they didn't know what to do with it.
Wow.
The actual prop thing, it's nothing to lose all your stuff in a fire. Stolen is weird, but losing it in a fire, it means nothing. It truly means nothing. It's having your life and family. This is everything. But then I want to put that helmet on. I see you have right in the background. You have a Star Wars game there. Does it work? The arcade game, I want to play that game so badly.
Oh yes. Oh, come over. You know where I
Yeah, I
live.
will. I will. I will.
You know Moley, don't you?
I know exactly where you live.
Yeah.
So if your stuff disappears,
It's not plugged in. It works. It's not plugged in.
okay. See, it's cool. See, that's all I got to do.
You're welcome anytime. You know what?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
TJ says
Harry
goes to the Harry
Potter.
Potter tunnel, but you can go to Gotham City any day you want as well. She lives in Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. I stuff is just stuff is exactly stuff is stuff. Royston Basie. Now that I would like to visit. I'm a massive fan of that.
Yes.
League of Gentlemen.
DMA.
Yeah, I would do that tour more than I would. I did the Sex and the City tour in New York City once because I was forced to. That was okay, but the Royston Basie tour of Yorkshire, oh God,
Nice
that would be
special
fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
Go to the local shop. My Somali's like that anyway.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite shows.
Especially British Art Foundation. Anyway, on that bombshell, thank you, Neil. You'll have to come on again.
Oh yeah,
it's been too long. It has.
I'm sorry this is going on so long too.
No, don't worry. It's been 2 hours. It's flown by.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I mean, we can carry on if you want. If you've got anything else to say, these lovely people aren't going anywhere.
Well, if there's any last questions, just get them in now. I'm happy to answer questions.
Yes, this is a Q&A bit.
Yeah, quick Q&A. Yeah, God, I'm jealous of your house, but I wouldn't know where to start if I was going to break in. What would I take first?
Steve came a couple of weeks ago, and he took my Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, see, I had that. That was my only toy for many years.
Yeah.
Was it an original?
No, it was a reissue. It was a reissue. I am after
Yeah.
the. I've just been looking at this the Corgi book. I've just done
Yeah,
a
I saw
video on
that.
this. And
Yeah, I had the original James Bond, the one with the plastic
the
metal wheels.
there's so many prototypes in the back that really blew me away. I'm thinking
Yeah.
they never did that. And it's like there's Battle of the Planets Phoenix and there it is. We can show
Oh,
it
God.
there. Battle of the Planets Phoenix that the Corgi never did.
Now, by the way, you were speaking about the James Bond stuff the other day.
Yeah.
The Luna buggy,
Yeah.
which you didn't like from Diamonds Are Forever, I think. Yeah. I had that, and it was my only toy for years. It is crap, but it was wonderful.
Yeah. You can never find one now loose that's got all the bits to it.
Yeah, I can see why. I played that to death, by the way. So I understand. I'm just reading all the comments here. Shoot Hill in Manchester. Oh,
Yes. Yes. They did film Captain America in Manchester, didn't they?
well, Glasgow would be a great place to film. It's a great city. I actually want to go further north. I did actually shoot in the Isle of Skye. Which of your movies should I watch first, Neil? Okay, that's a good question.
Well, that's a good question.
I don't know. I can tell you the movies people really love. Humanity's End is a loved film. Rogue Warrior Robot Fighter, I would say that's a good one to get into because there's more of that content coming. Starship Rising, Starship Apocalypse, there's two of those. That's a complete story. I'm not saying they're my best. Chrononaut, I'm the most fond of. It's a small budget. Death Machine, you see, there you go. Death Machine, Fall of London is also Chrononaut, the same film. And okay, we're going. Construct 3 is a very old film, so just understand the year they were made in. Basically, that's battle space as well. But the one there, see that one there, that Tracy Birdsall Rogue One. Yeah, does that artwork look a lot like the Mandalorian artwork that we saw on Disney Plus? Yes, exact same layout. Thank you very much. I don't care. I thought it was cool. When you see the poster, I wouldn't Alien Nephilim or Alien Armageddon later. They're all kind of interconnected in a big story. There you go. Nephilim War, what's it? Humanity's End. That one there. That artwork, by the way, is a Japanese artwork. Transformers came out. They wanted it to look like the Transformers. Lightning in a Bottle. Okay. If you want to start somewhere interesting, watch Lightning in a Bottle. It's a documentary about the making of battle space. And a lot of it is shot on location where they shot Star Wars in the desert and everything else. It's 1 hour long. I think you'll find it very entertaining, extremely entertaining. Because, it'll show you, going on locations, way more fun than, sometimes the movies themselves. But that's a good one to start with. Yeah, Humanity's End is on Tubi. Yes, they owe me some money, by the way. Yeah, that's why it's on YouTube. Thank you.
We'll get the Sender Boys round.
Yeah, but if anything, I would start with Lightning in a Bottle. It'll just give you a good introduction. What's the most fun you've had on a project? The most fun. Fun. I don't know what fun is.
Remember fun?
Yeah, that's a hard one because it's such hard work, all of it. I don't know how to answer that easily. Starship Rising Apocalypse. I would say the Time War. I don't know. It's all fun. It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same, to be honest. I know it's a strange statement, but if I'm just making movies, I'm happy. I owned my own studio once where I produced a lot of this stuff. That was fun. The days I didn't have fun with when the distributors came to visit and told me I was doing it wrong and they wanted me to change things. That wasn't fun. But every day is fun. You see, and that's the reality. I wish I could really give you, good answers. But they're all fun. But the thing I'm most proud of right now would be the Time War, which you haven't seen. Chrononaut, I'm very proud of, even though the actors absolutely hate me, and I'm not exaggerating. They I don't know what, you know. It's just one of those situations. You know, people are weird. Some of the actors I've worked with still like me, which is nice. Tracy Birdsall still likes me. So Rogue Warrior was a good fun thing to do, but you know, the most fun we've ever had on location was to have a very tiny crew, and we're out on location in the desert filming. Which film do you wish you'd made? Oh my God. I'm making it right now. The Time War.
Good answer.
I don't know. You see, I just love my own films, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I'm making the movies I want to see. Not always. Some of my films I didn't want to make. Most of the films I'm now making are the ones I really want to make. Maybe I would like a bit more money. That would be very kind, you know. Yeah, Mark, could you put the link up?
Trying to find it. There we go.
There you go. It's a tough one, you know. I think I would have liked to have made Return of the Jedi where I am right now, because I would have done something completely different. And I'm not knocking that film at all. It's just I think it would have been interesting if a guy like me could have made it. I would have loved to have done the Han Solo movie, because it's not what I would have done, but I understand the situation there. And I probably would have loved to have done Revenge of the, you know, one of the Star Wars sequels, because I would have done something different. I would have done a better effort.
It's not difficult.
I know what they're doing. I hugely respect the directors of those films, and I could see the problem. But okay, so Rise of Skywalker was rushed, terribly rushed, and those smart-ass words, you know, little lines, you know, they fly now. You know, that's the only line I didn't like in that, but whatever. Blake 7 remake, yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
If I like, seriously, this is what I would have done if I was, you know, if they would talk to me. I would have said, okay, Rise of Skywalker, we're in a hurry. Okay, we've got a problem here. Split it into 2 films. It would have made more sense. Pad the story out, take it somewhere, do it right. Who's to say it's a trilogy? You know, why not finish with episode 10? Who cares? You know,
Making more anyway, so
rushed. And it would have been better, because you could do more with it. And, you know, okay, guess what? It would have cost an extra. So say a $200 million budget, another $100 million, I would have said, you give me another $100 million, I'll give you 2 films. And they would be better. And you'll make more money. And you'll have a.
How much should they make Star Wars on?
But don't tell anyone.
12 million.
Put out Rise of Skywalker. So, oh, there's a cliffhanger. What the hell? And then announce episode 10. You know,
yeah.
That's good business.
I think the mistake was made with having Rian Johnson. It was a good film. I enjoyed Last Jedi, but it shouldn't have been in the middle of a trilogy.
No,
that should have been a standalone movie.
You know what I would have done?
They should have had JJ doing all 3 and have a clear.
I don't think he wanted
story.
to. He didn't want to do it. You know, I mean, it was clear he doesn't care. And I mean, you know, this is, look at the way to I talk like this. Look at 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 this thing. Oh, that's how he is as a person. That's how he talks, and that's what he makes. You know, so that's him reflecting himself, and Rian Johnson reflected in the thing. I'm going to do the unexpected. Here we go. Here's a twist in the story, but nobody's thinking of the big picture, the end game. And I would have obviously brought Luke back. Physical, I would say, okay, George Lucas was going to bring Ben Kenobi. Ben Kenobi was going to come back in Return of the Jedi in the flesh. I would have done that with Luke, number 1 for the Rise of Skywalker. I would have given us the film we wanted to make. You know, I would have started Rise of Skywalker with a flashback with Luke, Han, and Leia, CG Leia probably, in the Millennium Falcon, having an adventure to set up the last bits of the story about Palpatine. You know, they go to Coruscant, have a little 20-minute story, but they go to Coruscant, you know, after the Death Star's blown up, and then where's some weird stuff going on here, which pays off at the end of, you know, Rise. It would have given us what we wanted, would have been cool, would have been exciting, and would have pay off, you know, a 2-film story. Would have been very interesting. Because, you know, then Last Jedi was justified if Luke came back in the flesh, because he just wafted away, and he could have come back. But no, no, let's do a little, you know, I thought that was truly lazy, truly uninspired. I mean, I'm only saying this because, you know, I've done a few of these things, and it just would have been interesting. Even, you know, just they didn't care. You could tell nobody cared, because it's like, okay, just get it done. Too many people in the story group telling me what I got to do. J.J. Abrams probably got really pissed off, you know, honestly. But he had no end game in sight when he did it. And if it was me, the first thing I would have done is say, okay, I'm going to make Dark Empire, the comic series, because that would have made a great story. Yeah, exactly. Dark Empire would have been a really good story for the sequel trilogy. You know, Luke turning to the dark side and pulling down a Star Destroyer on Coruscant. That's incredible. You know, and then the Emperor. Yeah, guess what? They stole from it. The Emperor is cloned, reborn as a young man. You know, let's get the guy from Doctor Who to play young Palpatine. Much clever idea. Makes more sense. Completely clear. You know, and still have that weird Snoke, whatever his name is, on the side. And nobody resonated with Snoke because he was a cartoon.
No sense at all.
He was a cartoon character. Imagine if they put the real actor, you know, the real actor who played Snoke. Yeah, Andy Serkis in a costume, or have him on set, just all crusty. Oh my God, who's that dude? You know, then you got a story. You know, these are the mistakes that are always made along the way. You know, learn from your mistakes. Jar Jar didn't work. Let's not do another Jar Jar. You know, do I sit and enjoy a film? I have to. No, I do enjoy movies. Absolutely.
Depends,
I don't want to think about it. Yeah, but then, you know, even Rise of Skywalker, I was like, I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. Last Jedi, I think it's a great work of art, but it's not the film I would have ever made personally. But I can't disrespect that movie. Last Jedi, you know, just, you know, but you see, would I make a horror film? First 2 films were horror. Nobody wants my horror films. I can tell you that right now. Any idiot, I'm going to say this, any idiot can do a horror film, and I'm not being rude. They're easy. You know, science fiction with spaceships is really hard. Very, very difficult. Go look at Rebel Moon. I'm not knocking Rebel Moon, by the way, at all. Director's cuts. I'm working through them. I set out to do the same film as Rebel Moon in a digital way as well. And Starship Rising, Starship Apocalypse was my Rebel Moon in 2012. No comment. You know, and I think he's, you know, I don't hate him. Rebel Moon, in my opinion, was still better than some of the Star Wars stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not saying that.
In my opinion, you know, but I, you know, it's just one of those situations in my life. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know where the question was going. Sorry, I'm rambling. So, any last questions? What is The Last Jedi? It was a comic. The Last Jedi was a comic by Marvel. I think.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Was it 17?
I saw The Last Jedi. I thought, they're remaking that comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The penultimate Jedi.
Penultimate Jedi,
yeah. Sorry, as a setup. And the next time, but it's but there's a for X. You need to lose weight, Mark. No. How many sausage rolls do you eat in a week?
I usually get a 4-pack from Morrison's.
Oh, I love those. The frozen ones.
I had a pasty today. Corned beef pasty, not from Greg's, from Morrison's.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that Morrison's. Actually, I love. You can't get sausage rolls in the US. I love sausage rolls.
I'll send you some over.
No, I don't.
They do hog roast ones now, which are really nice.
Oh wow, yeah, that'll get seized by customs.
Yeah, true. I'm eaten.
Yeah. Yeah. God,
Yeah,
I
I was
miss
just saying,
money.
I went to Asda today, and I've seen this the other day. £40. I thought that's a lot of money. Then I was looking online; they're like going for 110, £120. So I'll get one.
Mhm.
So I got it this afternoon. Put it on eBay for £70.
Mhm.
Gone just like that. So they've
How
got
much
one left. So
profit?
I'm going to
How
go
much
back for another
profit?
one.
How much profit did you get
£30.
on that? Oh, okay.
This,
That's
I
not
mean, the
bad.
cheapest one was £75. So I thought I'll sell it at 70, and it went literally 5 minutes after I'd listed it. It went.
Mm.
I mean, it's quite good. Quite Mattel.
Oh, I love
You know
that
what I
show,
mean?
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Well, Wednesday was a really good series on Netflix because it
yeah.
was great actress. You
Mm.
know, it was fun. It was such a fun show. I really enjoyed it.
They do one where she's in, the black dress where she's dancing, but
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
you cannot get that
yes.
anywhere.
No, it's iconic. It became iconic. I mean, that was really a great, great piece of art. Very surprised. I'll tell you another thing I really like on Netflix is Nurse Ratched. Um,
All right,
I
not
know it's
seen
a
that.
weird statement. I just love the way they shot that thing. Based upon One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
Yeah, the recent Star Wars film trailer missed opportunities. Yeah, missed opportunities. And I can't criticize them that much. The Star Wars stuff because I haven't made anything better than them, and that's okay. Um, but I think the only solution is for people like me to do better and to do it more honestly and not to push an agenda and not to do a dance of protest when people don't like your movie. I get abused online all the time. I
yeah,
would like to do a dance of protest, but instead I have to suck it up and say thank you for your time.
yeah.
Please
You
don't
can't
kill
say
me.
it. You
Yeah, I
can't.
mean it's just you make sci-fi, you're going to get shot in the head every time you make a science
Mm,
fiction film. That goes with the territory.
yeah,
It's not about racism or anything else. I mean, you should see the abuse I have to censor on YouTube. Um, that's okay. I'm learning to take it.
yeah.
Okay. So if I did Star
You
Wars,
can
it doesn't
take
matter.
it.
Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Great film. Nurse Ratched. Shot in Northern California. That thing's got a mood and a
Mm.
half. Beautiful, beautiful series. Anyway, it's I'm all
Check
about
it. I've
Stanley
not, I've
Kubrick
not
and
got
his 90s.
Netflix, so there's been nothing on Netflix for me to watch. So
No,
I've
no.
got Amazon, I've got Disney,
Huh. So yeah,
that's
I
YouTube.
stopped watching. Disney disappointed me with the Acolyte. I actually
Yeah,
we cancelled it. I'm not being smart. I really just
yeah,
can't ethically give these people money when they're doing dance offs, in protesters. Yeah, the fans are rude. They're rude assholes. Yes, but you
yeah,
just zip it.
yeah.
You know, you can't be that person if you're Disney. You've got to have a little bit of, you know. It's so funny. I'm so angry. I'm going to dance. I'm going to twerk. Sorry. It's just it's insanity.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Oh,
Let me
you don't
trust
like it
myself
because
at the
you
camera.
don't like it because of this, and it. No, you don't like it because the writing's
Yeah.
just and
Yeah. And I adore, these types of people too, by the way. I really do. I'm really very pro woke. I'm very pro feminist, and my work reflects that.
well,
And I
yeah,
have,
obviously,
oh,
yeah.
okay. No, dude, okay. Do you want to know how woke I am? I did a film called Alien Armageddon, who Christopher Lee did a quick voice for, Alien Armageddon, one of my most hated movies by everybody. Some jackass journalist, and I'll say this in the UK, I think it was Empire Magazine, I don't know, one of those types,
Yeah.
posed the question to Christopher Lee, Mr. Lee, we've just seen this movie Alien Armageddon come out. How do you feel being in a movie that has lesbians and cannibalism in the same film? And he said, what are you talking about? He was so upset by the question. That's how one of the press people described Alien Armageddon, if you ever see it. It has two girls kissing in the film because they're saying goodbye to each other. There's no cannibalism in the film, but there are dead bodies eaten by worms, to help spread a disease, basically, help
Yeah.
propagate a disease. But that's how the questionnaire went. So in their eyes, I made a movie with lesbians in 2010, girls kissing, 2 female leads, very much attached to each other as friends, as humans. You know, they could have been lesbians, it didn't matter. All female, a lot of female leads in that film, and there's a bit of cannibalism, as they claimed. But that's the sort of crap I've had thrown at me because I have strong female characters. I did it in 2001. I did it in 1999. And, you know, that's just how it is. Hello, Stone Cold fella. So, you know, they can't come back at me and say, oh, you're just being a white male. I've been the constant target of racism, you know, in my growing up years. I know how it feels. I've been accused of being woke and having, you know, gay and lesbian and transgender characters before it was even a thing in my films, and I was abused for it. Exactly. You know, Italian people kiss each other on the cheek all the time. Men, sometimes they hit the lips.
Yeah, not wrong with
it's
it.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't kiss you, Mark, because that would just be weird. But if you're Italian and you were, you know,
well, when you did, I thought it was weird.
But we don't talk about that. You know, it's even like, you know, oh look, I'm so confused when, like, you know, what's the movie? Strong female characters. Can I get one? Yes, Oh, you can buy my shirts on T Public.
Yes,
T Public.
Is it linked to your? Oh, yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. It's on the website, empiremotion.pictures, and you go there and order one. But you know. There you go. Yeah, that's some of the other ones. I do have a question though. You know, Megapolis. You know, the director running around kissing people on set on the cheek from the way it looks. You know, how do you guys feel? You know, have you seen the footage? Yes, that's a Star Wars ripoff on my T-shirt. You see that 1977 Star Wars ripoff on the right. You know, you got directors running around kissing some of the extras on the cheek in the Italian way. It's a cultural thing. And everyone's saying, oh my God, he's such a sleaze. He's an 85-year-old man. Just let him be. You know, he's a you know, he's one of the nice people on this planet. You can also go to T Public. It might be a little cheaper there. I don't know. But look at all the great stuff. There's the Mandalorian spaceship on a T-shirt. Tracy Bird. It's basically the Tracy Birdsall shop at the moment. But yeah, I like
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. There you go. There's the Mandalorian poster layout artwork. Yeah. That's the Transformers ripoff artwork. Japanese people did it, not me. Mark would kiss you for a sausage. Who would he kiss for a sausage roll? Okay. No, Mark's a nice guy. Women can go to the loos in two. Yeah, that's true. You know what's really creepy as a man? So imagine 2 men go into the bathroom. You both go up to the trough and start doing peeing.
I know which shirt I'm going.
You can't do that. It's so uncool for 2 men to stand there peeing and talk to each other. It's kind of weird. Oh, hey. Yeah. Anyway. Yes, I think this shirt is available. This shirt is available on T Public. Mark is a great guy. He's very kind.
He knows.
He does owe me a sausage roll, though. So, you know, just saying. Anyway. Any more questions before I disappear into the darkness?
The darkness. What is it? 2:30.
Yeah, you got to get to bed, young man, and go out in the morning and harass the people with your glasses.
I've got some editing to do, so I've done the editing. I need to save it and render it and upload it. Oh, God, that takes so long.
Yes, I know.
I need a new computer. That's why.
What do you got? A PC or a Mac?
iMac.
What is iMac?
Everything's Apple. Everything's Apple.
Well, what year is your iMac?
It's 2013.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2017. 2017. 2017s are really good, just so you know. For video work, the 27 probably don't cost you much. They're really good if you can get.
I'm saving up for a new one, which is just about a year old, I think.
Oh yeah, but if you wait till September,
this is a 27-inch. When this new one's 24-inch, they don't do the 27-inch anymore, do they?
Oh, that's about to change. September, there'll be a new one. Don't worry.
specifical.
But if it were me, I'd buy a 2017 and save you money. John Barrowman was famous for getting his dick out on Doctor Who. Oh man,
He's actually at the Comic Con. He's at Liverpool Comic Con, so
I love the guy. I'm so impressed with him as a human. Such a girlfriend. Yeah. I wish I had a T-shirt to give.
Yeah, he's a big collector as well, isn't he, John Barrowman?
Don't know. I know he was in a friend of a friend's film. You know that movie, the Shark movie or something, where he does that funny line where he seduces a woman. He's very famous for that one line in a movie. We should, I don't know anyway, but a friend of mine made that film, and so he was a lovely guy on set from what I've heard. People who know him speak well of him.
Yeah, we've all got a stick out on camera, haven't we?
Yeah. I've never done it myself.
Not tonight.
No.
Got a sausage rolls out.
Thank you, yes. No.
DJ says thank you for being here.
Thank you, TJ. Does TJ have red hair or blonde hair? I can't tell.
Yeah, we don't talk about that, do we?
No.
She's not ginger anyway.
Oh. Are you ginger? Were you ever ginger, Mark?
My beard was. When I grew a beard, it went ginger. I think it ran.
See, I started brunette and turned blonde.
My hair was black. Believe it or not, my hair was black.
Wow.
I loved my black hair. Now it's got.
I've got no grey in my hair whatsoever.
Yeah. There's no point in me dyeing it. I'm going to get a wig.
Yeah. That'd be funny. You should go back in the shop with a wig on and see if they kick you out. Yeah. See, everyone's telling us to wind up now. They say thank you for a great evening. Yeah. So we always stay down.
I want to go to bed.
Yeah. All right.
Shitty winter blonde with a hint of ginger.
That's probably how you
drink that.
It's how you describe me as well. Shitty winter blonde.
Right, I think we better go, aren't we?
Yeah.
2.5 hours. I think we've overstayed as welcome.
Yeah, we have. Neil Wikipedia
because he is. Because he is.
In Loon like him. Neil Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I didn't write all that Wikipedia. I don't know anything about it. It's very amusing.
Yeah, I've read it as well.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to go now.
All right.
Honest. Right. See you all later. Okay. Here comes Jacob.
Jacob, wait till me get the rope. Jacob, where you go? Jacob!